Well, happy, I think this will go on Sunday, we'll see. It's funny, the clip you're gonna see after this, actually I just filmed it before this. What's been on my mind lately for sharing what we do is, the first part is for me to give the disclaimer, I'm no expert, I won't pretend to be. But there's a lot of things you can read about, you can study about, especially when it comes to like scientific, if you will. And a lot of other people have done research, studies, observations that you can learn from. There's so much value in that. Maybe you're trying to learn something from what we're doing. But what I'm about to tell you is not it's not groundbreaking, earth shattering, I think I was gonna say there. Everything is contextual to your situation. And where I'm going with that, what's been in my mind lately is, I just come out here a lot of times and I just observe. Yeah, it's negative, whatever. I think it's above zero now with the wind chill, but it's cold. But just watching the animal dynamics within the flock and the herd, and the clip that you're just about to watch after this is actually Babs and one of the ewes that hasn't warmed up to her too much. And Babs' role within the pecking order here, where she'll assert herself, but at the same time will yield to the flock and the herd. And you know, you're looking for a lot of different things out here. Who the boss cow is, which is Stella, obviously here. Which of the sheep will lead, meaning that if you get one going one direction where you want them to, or the opposite, the rest will follow. So trying to figure out who that sheep is that you can use to your advantage. You're looking at body condition, you're looking at the pee, you're looking at the poop. There's so many different things that you can read about, you can touch it. You can read about it, but until you touch it and smell it, for lack of a better phrase, somewhat of a pun intended being on the farm, you don't know. And what works on my farm most likely may not work on your farm. Everything's relative to the soil health, minerals, quality of hay and feed, quality of water, everything is relative. But I guess my main foot stomp here is get out and observe. And a lot of times I'll just come out here and sit on a stump or a 5-gallon pail and watch the herd and flock dynamics to learn more about the animals and how I can better assist them reach their best potential. So anyway, you'll see a little bit of that with some dialogue between I think it's actually that ewe there and Babs. So get out and observe. Have a great day. A really interesting interaction here. Usually this sheep really avoids Babs. They're just, I don't know what they're doing, just feeling each other out. But the sheep, that ewe definitely went to Babs to assert some dominance. You can tell by Babs' posture where she's being passive and that ewe's being a little more aggressive. Here, Babs is telling her, I'm not here to cause you harm. So in the interest of observation, you know, last year talked a lot about it and got some grief from people about feeding on the ground, feeding hay specifically on the ground versus in a feeder. And we've been doing it with the feeder, this style of feeder, but to be honest, the sheep can get up in it, so I feel like it gets soiled too easily, even though it's similar to being on the ground as far as getting soiled. But what I found, or what we have found to this point, is up to that side, you know, that 1.5 feet there, it just stays piled up. So I sorted it out yesterday. You can tell they've really picked through it, versus then over here, this was just fed directly onto the ground. I think they've gotten more use out of this, and it's also a lighter thatch on top of the pasture. Hey, Babs. But we're gonna keep tinkering with it. Those sheep feeders over there that you've seen in this video and other videos seem to be the best as far as waste, as well as some of it's still getting on the ground. And we can just move those anywhere we want. But feeding without feeders offers super flexibility, especially with small squares. We can put them in the skid steer, we can carry them, we can put them in the back of the Ranger. But right now, signs point to better efficiency and use of feed on the ground than in a feeder like that. And again, like I said, it's all contextual. That's what seems to work for us. This girl just came back. They had left this alone. I'd thrown a chunk of alfalfa over here just because. But it's like us. They come and lick the frosting off the cake, work away around it, and then they come back to finding the piece of the cake. So what they come in, especially the sheep, they pick all those leaves off the stems, or they pick it out as it falls off, and they leave those stems, and not until they come back later when they're hungrier, they eat more of the stem.